Wow, she's just there? No. Why she's not? Why she's not like a Puerto Rican, like New York chick? Hey, yo, Johnny.
I don't know Jennifer Lopez here.
No, you know, Jayla from the block. No.
Yeah, she's from the block. She's from this block, that block. She's been around the block.
Ooh, she got blocks for days. Block party? Nah. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Trader Without the Block. Nah.
Trader without the Blocko.
The Blocko? That sounds like
Waco Blocko.
Oh, Henry Blanco.
Oh, Taco Flacco.
Oh, Rocco Taco.
Robots.
That's so bad. Welcome back to another episode of the coolest podcast in the world. And by coolest, we mean colder than what?
Colder than ice cold penguins.
Damn.
Oh, colder than the Coors Light cans when the mountains turn blue?
Ooh.
That's a good one. I'm going to go with that
Penguins drinking Coors Light.
Dang.
Yo,
On
that's-
some glaciers?
At a block party?
Fuck.
How do you have blocks in Antarctica? Do you just... Oh, I live over there on that ice.
Yeah, like literal blocks.
Oh.
Just blocks of ice. You know?
That's stupid as fuck. No.
It's perfect.
This episode, we are bringing you a movie review. The name of the movie
The name of the movie
is Richard Jewell. And if you've seen the trailer for it, you would know that this is going to be a dope-ass movie about a bombing that happened in 1996. But it premiered past weekend, right? So
Correct. Yeah.
Yeah.
So go out there, check it out.
yeah, go out there, check it out. If you've seen it already, stick around for the spoilers towards the second part of this review. But yeah, man, let's kick it off,
Yeah.
dude.
I was actually thinking about that, like, because we always try to not spoil anything in the movie, but we're reviewing a movie that's based on historical events. So, like,
Yep.
you know,
So it's already spoiled.
so it's spoiled as fuck.
Yeah, because literally everything in that movie already happened.
Yeah. Like, I although there are probably more people like me that didn't know this happened at all,
That's true, yeah.
which I actually wanted to talk about. Like, I feel like that made the movie watching experience a little cooler.
Yeah.
Because I legit didn't know it was going to happen.
Didn't even know the Olympics were in the United States.
Yeah, fucking, who would have known?
Yeah.
Land of the Migos.
Yeah, for real, Atlanta. Yeah, so I guess we could start there, bro. Like, this, like you said, this is a historic event that happened. Where were you in 1996?
Oh.
I guess to start off.
Getting-
Fucking bombs everywhere? No.
Getting my drink spilled on me.
Jesus.
1996, I would have been 2.
Okay.
So I was probably in DeKalb.
Yo, you need a coaster, bro. Hold up.
Apparently.
Guys, we have coasters. No.
It's like, we have planned for this. You don't understand.
We planned for this.
Yeah, so 2 years old, in DeKalb.
Whoa, wait, hold on. You lived
Chilling.
in DeKalb?
Yeah, when I was born in the hospital around DeKalb in Sycamore, where the...
Wait, what?
Yeah. I was...
Did this influence your reasoning to go to NIU for college?
No.
Huh.
It didn't play into it, but
Okay.
I did think it was kind of funny. Yeah, so I was born there and I lived there until I was like 4 or 5.
That's
Then we
so
moved
weird.
to Cicero.
Damn, that's dope. Yeah, 1996. I don't remember anything, but
Your kicks. No.
yeah, but my kicks. No, I probably couldn't afford Jordans, but I remember 1996. I was 4, right? And I have this really weird like memory of when I was like, I want to say 4. I'm just gonna say 4 for the sake of the show.
All right.
When I was 4 years old, there was you know how in the hood like someone would like take off the water.
Take off the thing
The
from
pump,
the fire hydrant?
Yeah, the fire hydrant.
Yeah.
Well, they did that, and all the kids were playing in the corner, right? And we lived like maybe 3 or 4 houses down. There was a chola chick, like a gangbanger chick, right? Talking like hoops, like the lips and everything.
Lips, she got the lip liner with no lipstick.
Yeah, you know,
Yeah.
and like her hair looks wet, but it's not. Like,
But she got out the shower like 5 hours ago.
yeah, she's wearing rubber bands on her ankles. Well, she came up to my stoop because I was sitting in the front and I was watching all the kids play.
Yeah.
She asked me if I wanted to go get wet,
Yeah.
and then.
She's asking you out, man.
Well, bro, and I had a game when I was 4. Nah. Well, anyway, the point is, like, I don't know how it happened, but she fucking took me over there, and like we were playing. I was playing with like this game banger chick, and like it was
Yeah.
like amazing. And then she walked me home, and then my mom got mad because I was all wet. Like, that's all. Literally, I remember that, and I'm sure I was 4, but yeah, 1996 was
This is a different world out
different
there.
times, yeah. And I like that in the movie they captured that like that retro like
Yeah.
96 feeling.
Yeah. So I like that how they did that because it was in the 96, which was weird because it was in the mid 90s, you know?
Mid 90s.
But I felt like they didn't like kind of shove it in your face that it was in the 90s, you know?
Yeah, it was very like
It was very subtle. It was just
Subtle.
like, oh, there's payphones. People have these big ass cell phones. Like,
yeah.
cars are older. Like, it was like subtle things where like, not even the mid 90s so much that they did that, but because you know mid 90s it was like more based around the culture of the time, so it makes sense. But like in like Captain Marvel, when in the beginning of the movie where she crash lands into the Blockbuster and she walks over to the Radio Shack.
Yeah.
So like I felt like that was kind of more in your face, like, hey, it's the 90s.
Yeah,
And
like hey, look at this
Blockbuster.
Yeah. Blocking that
Blocking that Buster.
Listen, don't go blocking that buster. The coach is on defense. Yeah, like it was very like, yo, this is like capturing the 90s. But you're right. In this movie, it was very like, this fucking handheld camcorder is like huge.
Yeah.
Even
like,
when they were like doing the tapes,
Yeah.
like it's
And, like,
no memory cards.
the family who like walked by and the dad was holding the big ass like handy cam.
Yeah.
Yeah, so little stuff like that.
Yeah, and I thought that was really cool. But there was also, I noticed that like even the AT&T logo looked older.
Oh yeah, they had like the
Yeah.
actual logo,
Yeah.
and I thought that was cool too. Because the first time I saw it, I was like, "Was AT&T around back then? Was it called AT&T?" And then after I looked it up, I was like, "Oh, it was called AT&T."
Yeah, so there was a lot of cool like little tidbits. But so this movie was about this and I mean you guys could Google it. It's not like spoiler or anything.
Yeah.
What's his name? Jewell.
Robert Jewell.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Richard
Jewell.
Richard Jewell.
Yeah.
I looked him up post us watching this,
Yeah.
and dude, dead ass like looks just like the guy. Like
Yeah. Well, even in the movie, I don't know if you noticed, but the scene where the first interview that he does on TV in the movie, they just straight up used the clip from the interview.
oh, did they
Like
really?
that was the actual dude.
oh shit, I didn't notice that.
Yeah.
Wait, like when he first like saves everybody?
Yeah. So like right after spoilers from the '96 Olympics.
All right.
Yeah. So like right after the bombing happened,
There's a bomb in this movie. No,
it's the movie itself. It's the bomb,
a
guys. No,
98. No.
98. You know what I'm thinking?
What's up?
I don't know if we hit play on the camcorder.
That would be so funny.
I'm gonna stand up and I'm gonna go check.
This is the moment of truth right here because I definitely didn't hit play.
And
Yo.
pretty sure I didn't hit play.
I did delete the footage though.
Are you recording? Let me see. Hold on, I can't.
This is live and direct, guys. This is TretoWithOutARadio, raw and uncut.
All right.
Yo, wait. So should we run it back? Because the first like 5 minutes are gonna be blocked up.
I mean, that was 8 minutes though. I mean, we got. Welcome to everyone watching the video.
Yo, I wonder how many people actually listen to it, like on Spotify and all that.
Yeah.
And versus people that actually watch it on
This
YouTube.
would be a good barometer.
Yeah. Well, this is cool because like it shows you that everyone fucks up and like post production isn't gonna fix that. So, we'll fix it in post.
No, here's what we do in post. We record 8 minutes of us sitting here pretending to talk,
Oh,
and we chop it up and like loop it.
yo, you want to?
That'd be kind of funny. See if anybody notices.
I'm down for that. That's all right. Cool.
So I'm glad I remembered that way sooner than like halfway through the episode or something.
Yeah, no, definitely. So yeah,
Yeah, but yeah, when he was that first interview, it was actual footage.
yeah, I didn't notice that.
Yeah, so I thought that was kind of cool because I noticed that the quality went down like super hard when that interview happened. I was like, that's weird. Why Oh, this is real.
Yeah, that's crazy. And dude, I'm telling you, the guy looks so much like the real guy that I didn't even notice.
Yeah.
But I did want to talk a little bit about the stars in the movie.
Yeah.
So we have Richard Jewell, who's played by Paul Walter. I'm not gonna pronounce that second last name. There's a guy named Paul. Never seen him anywhere before.
Yeah, I tried to look him up, and he didn't really have anything else on his IMDb or like anywhere. So this was like his first like big role.
Yeah, and I think that's dope because it really tells that the director of the movie was looking for more of a realistic looking character rather than like a name, like a big name,
Yeah.
So I thought that was really cool. His attorney, played by Sam Rockwell. His name was Watson Bryan in the movie.
Yep.
Never seen that guy anywhere either.
Same.
So I'm pretty new to this. The newspaper journalist that I want to talk about, Olivia Wilde.
Yeah.
So you were like, oh yeah. After the movie, guys, Renee's like, oh, that's Olivia Wilde, and I was like, yeah, that was her. Like,
Yeah.
totally,
That's totally her.
She was in that movie.
She was there.
Where is she from? Like, where do you know her from?
So again, she's from the Drake music video.
Oh yeah, you did say that, bro. Like that. Nice for What has like 1,000 girls in it.
But she's the first one, and she's the only one who's white.
But there has to be like a reasoning for her to be in that video. Was she in like Degrassi with him, or like how do they know each other?
No, well, the whole point of the video was it's just a bunch of successful female people.
Nah, I think those are all girls that Drake fucked.
Oh.
Nah. Imagine. Yeah, let's go with Olivia Wilde to start. Nah.
You're just throwing darts at a board?
Okay, so you know her from the Drake video?
Yeah. No, I feel like that's maybe where most people know her from.
Probably.
She was the director of Smarts.
We did a movie review on that.
Yeah. We did a movie review within the movie review because we were reviewing a different movie.
We did. You're right.
Yeah.
Movieception. No.
Movieception.
Right.
It wasn't Inception though. So she did that. Oh God, my mind just went blank on that. But she's a pretty well-established actress, and she's directed a handful of things, with Booksmart being like her most widely known and critically.
Critically. Oh, that's fucking. Why? Because she's a girl.
Critically acclaimed.
Oh, critically, not clitoris. Nah.
I was trying to say. See, I can't even say it, but like the critics.
Oh, Ebert and Roper.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, what are you trying like a critic
Like it has
critically acclaimed
Thank you. That.
acclaimed
No, the first word.
critically
Acclaimed.
what?
Well, for whatever reason, I can't say them together right now.
Okay.
So
that's funny.
yeah, so she's from that, and then John Hamm, who I imagine was next on the list.
Yeah. The FBI, the leading FBI agent in the investigation. John Hamm. I'm pretty sure he was in an episode of The Office, but you're saying he wasn't.
No, he was in an episode of 30 Rock, and he was in an episode of another big sitcom that I can't remember off the top of my head right now. But
Right.
he was like the lead. He played John, or I think it was John Draper in Mad Men.
Okay.
That's like his big claim to fame. He was in Kimmy Schmidt. That was the other one. The Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt. Starting the girl from The Office, the second receptionist.
Kelly?
Erin.
Oh.
I think Kelly's her real name.
Yeah, that's what I remember
I keep trying
her
to
as.
say Kelly. And it's not Kelly.
Yo, like this is gonna be an ongoing thing for like the rest of the podcast because like I'm bad with names, bro.
Yeah.
Like, but I'm trying to get better. I listen to this podcast that's all about like movies and like video games. So like they name drop all the time, and I'm just like, yeah. Then I go and Google them. So
that's a person. No.
yeah, I'm working on it.
Yeah, but no, I think John Hamm is a really good actor. Just all things aside, like if you see him in something else, I'd really recommend watching his the episode of Black Mirror that he's in.
You know what? I've heard a lot of good things about that show.
You've never seen Black Mirror?
Never seen it.
Oh.
Mainly because I don't like watching scary stuff, and I heard that it was kind of like creepy.
Well, it's only creepy if you accept it as the future.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. See that right there? Yeah. No.
Wow.
No, I don't fuck with that. No.
Go watch The Office again.
Yeah. See, that's in the past.
Can't get creeped out with the past.
Yeah. So yeah, exactly. Okay. So then these they had some big names in the movie, so it wasn't like
Olivia Wilde and John Hamm were like the big names.
They probably took up most of the budget.
Probably took up, yeah. And then Clint Eastwood directing it, which I mean he's got his whole 60 years worth of film work.
Oh my god. Yo, it's so crazy that my dad knows him as like a younger Clint Eastwood. Mm-hmm. So I remember I was watching what's that movie? Gran Torino?
Yeah.
With him, and he's like, "Oh my god, he's old as shit." And that was like what, maybe 10 years ago?
Yeah, that was
And now we were watching not too long ago. We were watching The Mule.
Oh.
My dad's like, "Oh my god, this guy's not dead yet." Like, dude, he's like literally a bag of bones. Like,
yeah,
he's so old.
But he's in there.
Yeah,
like,
that's
it's
crazy. So yeah, he wrote it, produced it.
He directed and
all of them except for the one I guessed.
and
he started it. No.
He started it. Some other dude did it, but it's really cool. And I guess slight segue. It's really cool that he's still out there. He's like directing stuff because that's a lot of work to direct all these actors, direct the sets, and do all this stuff and put everything together.
And you're old as fuck.
Yeah, so it shows that like his mental capacity is still there.
Yeah,
and I was thinking about this just randomly at some point after we saw the movie.
In your shower thought?
Yeah, it was like a shower thought.
Yeah,
but it wasn't in the shower though.
Wow.
And I was thinking about this, like, wow, yeah, he's really well put together for such an old dude. And immediately my brain compared it to Joe Biden. Because
why?
I don't know if you've seen any of the interviews or any of the touring that Joe Biden's doing, like trying to go for this presidential election.
I mean, I haven't like focused on it, but yeah,
this dude is falling apart.
Oh shit!
Like most of the time, he's like slurring his. He sounds like a drunk dude. You know.
Really?
He's like slurring his words. Like people have to like repeat questions to him. He can't like he'll start talking. He does like the Michael Scott thing where he'll start talking and he doesn't remember what he said when he started talking.
He just keeps going on tangents.
Yeah. So like he'll do all this shit and like people still want him as president somehow. I was like, bro, he can barely like formulate a concise sentence.
But he's a meme god. Like
I know. Yeah, that's why I'm
he's
like
Joe.
That's why like why do people want him as a president? And like the best like comment that I saw was people just remember him as the guy who was there when Obama was there. Obama was chill. So by association, Biden has to be chill.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. That's like people are going to relive the Obama years through Joe Biden.
Yeah, but Joe Biden's he's not fully there in his mental capacities.
Yikes. Yeah, do you think Clint Eastwood at that age, is it just like passion for movies, or does he, because he doesn't really need to work anymore? I mean, I'm sure he could retire. And like,
I'm pretty sure I'm pretty sure he could have retired like in the 70s.
At that point, I think it's just like a passion to be on a set, you know?
Yeah.
Like, and that's pretty dope. Like
that's his thing. Like, that's his legitimate calling.
That's so cool. At one point, I'm going to be like 95 having a podcast.
Fuck.
And they're going to have like all these young kids, and I'm going to have to tell them like, look, man, like, sometimes you forget to hit record on the camera. It's okay.
No, Treto, that's just you.
What's a camera? Nah.
What do you mean? You don't just beam it to people's feeds?
Yeah, this is all the telecatronics.
Telecatronics?
Yeah.
Oh, nice program. Yeah. Getting back to the film though, so like I mentioned a little bit earlier, I went into the film not knowing anything about it.
Okay.
I knew that it was based on historical events. And that it was called Richard Jewell.
Right.
And that was about it. Because even when we sat down before the screening started, I was like looking at it. I was like, oh, Olivia Wilde is in this. Oh, John Hamm is in this.
Well, yeah, you did mention, you're like, oh, now I know who's like starring in this film.
Yeah, who's in it. And it was really cool going into a movie about a historical event, not knowing anything about it.
That's dope.
So I guess, were you in the same boat? Did you not know anything about this Jewell person?
Well, the thing is, I've seen the trailer. It just happened to come on in like a previous movie I saw, but I didn't look into it. Like I just never bothered to like look up the bombing or anything like that. Yeah. Which kind of like, so I'm thinking about it now. Like, does that say something about how like we were taught history in school? Because I didn't know this even existed. Like I swear to God, I didn't know that the Olympics were in the United States at that time. You know, so like. We were taught like, well, we lived through like the 9/11 and shit like that, but like I'd never heard of this bombing.
Which we had technically lived through this bombing as well. Just
yeah,
weren't in school. So I don't know. Maybe if we were in school at the time, we would have had like one of those days like when 9/11 happened, where that's all we talked about for a whole day.
But then it's also like maybe since we didn't live in Georgia or Atlanta, like we just never fucking heard of it.
Yeah, but it was the Olympics though, which is arguably more important than the Twin Towers.
Also, was it just the track and field Olympics games? Because
I think it was.
If that's the case, then wouldn't Michael Jordan be in that, like, playing in the 96 Olympics?
Well, yeah, it was the 96 Olympics. That was the Dream Team.
Yeah, but then the Dream Team play in like Barcelona or something? Like they played.
Maybe that's where they had the final tournament or something.
Oh, maybe. Yeah, we should really do this research. Yeah. No, but like what I'm saying is, I Yeah, the
I
lack
think
of
we were gonna start talking about Jordan. I wasn't,
Yeah, but no,
I
you
wasn't
know-
prepared for that.
the way Jordan just dropped these fucking no, but like
He was dropping bombs on the games. Not,
wow, dropping bomb from 3. No,
but
but
wow,
yeah,
there
no,
was
like
3
the lack
bombs.
of us not knowing that this happened made the movie much better. you
Yeah,
know?
but
yeah.
it does raise an interesting point of how come that never got taught.
Yeah.
Like I didn't know like you, I didn't know the Olympics happened here. I didn't know that this fucking bombing event happened.
Yeah.
I don't know who this Jewell person. We were like trying to figure out how to pronounce his last name. Remember?
Jewell, like
Yeah.
what if Yeah.
So yeah, things like that. But it did make the experience better. It reminded me of when I saw the I, Tonya movie
Ooh.
that Hulu made like a couple years ago, starring. Don't tell me. No, as if
I'm
you're
not gonna tell you.
No. I think it was Elizabeth Banks,
Oh, probably was, yeah.
and yeah, it had to be Elizabeth Banks.
Yeah, pretty
and
sure that was
this
it.
guy, the Winter Soldier, Sebastian Stan.
Oh yeah,
something like
the guy that plays
the
Winter
Winter Soldier, Bucky.
There you go, Bucky, yeah. I'm really bad at this.
Yeah, and that was a really good movie too, based on historical events from the Olympics as well.
Oh, nice.
That was the '85 Olympics. So Tanya Harding, do you know who that is?
Mhm.
I mean, it's okay to say no.
No, Tanya Harding, she played in the 85 Olympics.
Okay, what did she do in the '85 Olympics?
She ran. Because that's the safest bet. Like, you could be a...
That's true. That's the most.
That's the most safe.
No,
Because she wasn't a swimmer, obviously. She
So,
didn't-
why couldn't she be a swimmer?
No, she was she was a sprinter.
Yeah, she was a sprinter on the ice because she was a figure skater. Um,
Damn, I thought I had it.
Yeah, I highly
Yeah.
recommend watching it for anyone who hasn't seen it. And it's based around the events of like her life leading up to that point and how like all the struggles that she had to go through to get to the Olympics.
That's pretty cool.
And then when she was competing in the Olympics, her ex-husband backstage broke the legs of one of the other competitors
Are you serious?
so that other girl couldn't compete so that Tanya wouldn't lose.
Wait, hold up. What the hell? Like, how did he get away with breaking an athlete's leg?
Well, he didn't. He went to jail.
Oh, shit. Okay. Yeah. Oh, so then she won by default?
No, she lost. She got disqualified because
Oh, thank
her
God.
fucking ex-husband broke the other person's legs.
Well, you just ruined the whole movie for me. No.
Well, I mean, look it up.
Yeah, you're right.
But it's a really good movie, and
Yeah.
that's something that I had never even heard of before either.
Right.
Until like the movie came out and people were talking about the movie, and I was like, "Oh, this is real!" And I had to like go and Google it.
Damn, that's dope.
But
Yeah.
that's another really good movie too,
Yeah.
along the same lines. So I don't know. Maybe they just don't want to teach those because they're not like.
Like crazy historical events.
Yeah, but well, not like they don't paint the Olympics in a good light, or they don't paint the United States in a good light. But then again, there's like not Pearl Harbor. That was bad on the Japanese.
But
The response to the response to Pearl Harbor, we just decided to bomb Japan to shit.
yeah.
Like we get taught about that all the time, and that's really not a. It's not really a high point.
Hiroshima.
Yeah, that was one of them. But stuff like that. But going back to the movie specifically, and you mentioned this right after we left the theater too. I like that the film dealt with the fallout of the bombing, and it wasn't dealing with the bombing wasn't the climax of the film.
Right. The bombing was like a 15-minute thing. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And so that made it cool because it was more about the human aspect and how it like emotionally affected Richard and like how it affected his family and all this.
Yeah. Which it gave a really realistic point of view to things. You know, like I don't not once in the movie did I feel like it was being exaggerated.
Yeah.
And that's what I like because it reminded me, like I even said, like it was like a long ass episode of First 48.
Yeah.
Where it's like it's all realistic facts, and they did their best to stick to the facts because it is a historical event or whatever.
Yeah.
But like it didn't feel like they were pushing it or like exaggerating. You know.
Yeah.
I thought that was really cool. It also reminded me of I don't know if you ever listened to the podcast Serial.
Uh-huh.
So Serial followed a murder case of this guy, this Middle Eastern guy named Saeed.
Saeed?
Fuck, I forgot his name. But yeah, pretty much it was the journalist that started this podcast years after the trial he was convicted for murder, and she was trying to convince everyone that he didn't do it.
Mm-hmm.
But I liked it because it was very factual. Like, it was very like, she went back and retraced everything and talked to like numerous people. And even in the movie, I mean, this is semi spoiler, but not really. The attorney goes back and like retraces everything that happened during the bombing, you know, shit like that. And I think that makes it like more realistic and more believable, because it shows that not only did he didn't do it, but physically there's no way one man could pull that job off. You know what I'm saying?
Which like I think did a good job at like showing how sometimes the government and like police authorities, they'll just get fixated on something, because like by the end of the movie, like John Hamm's character, whatever the detective's name was in the movie, he was just fixated on it. It's like, this is the guy who did it. And it was like, well, it's impossible. He could have made the call and been there at the same time. It's like, all right, well, we had someone else help him. And they just they just started throwing shit, like trying to make anything stick to the wall, you know?
I know, he like pulled that one out of his ass too. Like,
he was just like pulling shit left and right, like just trying to frame this dude at this point.
Yeah.
And
you know what's crazy? That reminds me of back to the serial podcast. I know I keep talking about it, but if you don't have an attorney, bro, like you're pretty much fucked, because now it's like your word against the FBI and like the federal agents, you know?
Right.
Like, so you know how they were just trying to like bend the truth, like this guy was just like a regular schmuck, Richard Jewell, you know? Like there was no way he was going to be able to like argue his way through that if they went to court, like
and I guess the one part that I'm not sure of how much it was played up or anything was how much of like how much of a fanboy Richard Jewell was for like authority and like following the rules and all this, and like how knowledgeable he was, like how great he was at talking himself into a fucking hole.
Dude, one of my favorite lines in the whole movie was I'm law enforcement too, like like
he was a security guard,
like he was like the lowest of the security guards. Like he was very like he had this passion for law enforcement. And it showed throughout the whole movie, and I thought that was pretty funny.
I mean, ultimately, I guess it worked out because he finished off his life being like a deputy sheriff in Georgia or somewhere. Yeah. But yeah, that part, I don't know if I feel like that part was probably exaggerated a little bit for like comedic and dramatic effect.
Okay, yeah, I can see that.
Yeah, because
it was funny as fuck though.
It was funny, which is I thought was surprising. I didn't expect to, given that this was like a historical movie and based around a bombing. Yeah, I didn't expect to laugh as much as I did during that movie.
Oh my god, yeah, you're right.
And like it wasn't even like they were trying to be funny. Like it was just like the character being himself.
I have something in my notes that when I was writing this, I started laughing. I put so I'm writing notes, right, and in my head I'm just like flowing. Yeah, I put regular schmuck ass Richard. Kind of loopy, but everyone has that friend who's kind of weird but wouldn't hurt a fly. Yeah. So I like this movie because it shows how normal someone can be and become a whole different person by just being in the wrong place at the wrong time. Right. Yeah. So like he's just a regular Joe, like regular ass schmuck, you know, like
yeah, he's just passionate about security and protecting people, really. I mean, to a flaw. Like when they were talking about how he was pulling people over on the expressway when he was working as a campus security guard.
Yeah, they're like, yo, you have no jurisdiction.
You don't have any jurisdiction on the streets.
He's like impersonating a fucking officer.
Yeah, but I like how he had a solid line for everything though. He's like, well, yeah, if I stop them before they get to the campus, they won't be a problem on the campus.
Dude, and that made sense.
Yeah, like, it was like, shit.
And then he goes, when he's talking to the superintendent of the school, he goes, "Sir, you told me when I first met you, you don't want no Mickey Mouse and
you don't want no Mickey Mouse around here." And like he like wrote it down, like showed it to him.
And the guy's like, "No, I didn't say that." He goes, "Nope, I wrote it down." And this is like 6 months prior. He's flipping through his notes. Yo, that guy was very like to the book. Like he was very like he followed every single rule. You know,
he followed everything. Like even when he found the bomb, he like went straight through all the protocol. Yeah, and he's like, "No, I can't touch it. You can't touch it. We have to call in a bomb team. Yeah, they're the ones that can touch it and all that."
Yeah. Speaking of that, I thought it was very realistic when moments before that, he's like, you know, on his watch, and then his coworker was like, yo, man, you look sick. Just take the day off, just switch with somebody else. And this guy had the shits. Like, he had the runs. Yep. He goes, nah, man, I gotta, I'm on call today. Like, I gotta make it. I
gotta stick it out.
Yeah. And that guy had to take a shit while there's like a bombing going on. I'm surprised he didn't shit himself. Like, when the bombing off, I would have just let it all out. Like,
yeah, I mean, everyone's running our way already. So.
Bro, that shit was so funny. But you're right. Like, he was very to the book. Like, not to the book. What's the term?
To the book?
To the T?
To the window.
Very, to the wall. No. Yeah, but imagine him dancing to it.
I'd like to think of him as, the video of the big guy on the subway. He's like in a suit, so he works like an office job, but he's like trash, so his suit's all wrinkled, like his tie's undone.
Like he's going home from the bar.
Yeah, he's like halfway passed out, but he's still singing,
and they're all egging him on. Yeah,
that's Richard Jewell.
Damn, yo, would you hang out with Richard Jewell?
I think I would try it at least once.
Yeah, like if you worked with him, you'd be like, yo, man, we're all gonna get a drink after work.
Yeah,
I don't think he would go, but
yeah, I think he would. Because I mean, they showed him when him and his lawyer were together for the first time, and they were drinking a couple of Budweisers.
Oh yeah, they were downing the buds. Yeah.
So I think he'd do it because it's part of the job to him. I think he would make that extension. Because like, you go on patrol, you stop a few crooks, and then when your shift's over, you go to a local pub with your boys who also finish their patrol.
Yeah.
Build
that bond with
a couple beers, share some stories about what you guys saw on patrol, and then you pack it up and go home.
Yeah, let's do it. No,
that sounds like a normal, like a thing that like a cop or like a bunch of buddies who are cops would do.
Yeah, you're right. I also like that he was very like, he was very not passionate, but he was very like his mom came first. Like anything he did, he wanted to make his mom proud, and I thought that was really cool because. It was like thin line between mama's boy, but very like single son that only has his mom. Yeah, I didn't see his dad throughout the whole thing.
Yeah, they didn't even make a mention to it.
Yeah, so I like how they painted that bond between him and his mom. I thought that was really realistic too. But yeah, I mean, pretty much off the bat, is there any like? Do you want to dive into spoilers? Because I don't want to make this a whole episode thing, but I guess we could talk about spoilers, right?
Yeah. Yeah, we could talk about.
Not much to spoil. We could just read this on Wikipedia.
Yeah, it's true. You can read it on 2 pages now: the actual historical event and the Wikipedia page about the movie about the event.
I saw an article that compared the two. Very, very low rating.
Really?
Yeah, it was Vogue magazine. Huh. Which I thought Vogue was only like makeup and fucking. I swear, I thought it was like a fashion thing.
No, that's very not woke of you.
Wow.
So
woke AF.
I did have 2 things. One, the woman who played the mom of Richard, she actually was in The Office.
Yes. Okay, I knew that. Like, at first I was like, nah, she looks a little old, but then I remembered The Office is like fucking 11 years
old. The Office has been off the air for like 7-8 years.
Yeah. So she's the lady from the printing company.
Yeah. Sabre.
Yeah, Sabre.
She's the Sabre CEO.
Yeah.
Or the first CBO? No.
Sabre.
Yeah. Yeah, Dunder Mifflin is a part of Sabre.
I love that part.
Are you sure it's Sabre?
Are you sure it's Sabre?
It doesn't work. It doesn't work anymore.
Right? So she's the lady with the dogs.
Yeah, she's the lady with the dogs.
Does she always have that southern accent? Because in the movie she had it, and in The Office she had it too.
Well, I don't know. I feel like I don't know where the actress is from, but she might just be from the South.
Yeah, right.
Because in both instances they made sense. Because in The Office she played a character that was from Florida,
right?
And then in this movie, obviously they were from Georgia.
Yeah, so they're all like in that realm.
Yeah. So actually, let me see if I can find this real quick.
Yeah, for sure.
That'd be funny if she's like from New York or something.
In the meantime, during the movie, she's playing a mom, so she's very like loving and like
Memphis.
She's from Memphis.
Yeah,
that's South.
That's exactly it's perfect.
It's perfect. Yeah. So she's playing this loving like mother. And I don't know. In my head, I was comparing it while I was watching it, and like I try to envision her acting like that towards Michael Scott.
Oh,
You know, because
super.
yeah, because in the office she's all tough and like she's a hard ass like boss. But I was like, yo, if she was like a loving mother, Michael Scott would have been a mama's boy right off the bat. There's no like, yeah.
Damn, that would have been perfect.
That would have been funny. Yeah.
It worked out though, because then he ended up with Holly and everything was perfect.
Everything happened at the end. Yeah.
Welcome back to the Office episode.
Yo, wait, real quick, guys. Threat Level Midnight dropped on YouTube.
Oh yeah,
the whole like 20-minute movie.
Yeah, like 25 minute movie.
I'm saving it because I'm gonna watch it tonight. But
I've seen the first like 6 minutes or so.
I saw like the first minute.
Yeah.
Where Michael Scorn. No,
yeah.
He's like shooting.
Oh,
it's like
it's so
dodging
bad.
him. So stupid.
Yeah, I gotta check it out.
Yeah.
So the other thing that I had, and I saved this one second because it's more in depth than this person was in the office.
Oh right. That was the main point.
Yeah. So what I thought was really, I don't even know how to say, ironic, I guess, is that there's apparently a decent amount of backlash around Olivia Wilde's character from the movie.
The journalist's character, because, you know, obviously the journalist that she played was based on a real journalist who actually broke the story, like in real life. Yeah.
And so they're saying that her portrayal of the person in the movie makes it seem like that person was like exchanging sex for news stories, and like that's the only way that she could get articles and like be a good journalist.
That's what I took from it. Yeah.
And this is perfect. and I thought it was weird because the first time I saw that, I was like, well, where did you get that from? But apparently, so that's the same thing you took. So I guess how, like, why is that the conclusion that you came to?
Well, before she even had sex in the movie, I kind of, it felt like it because she was very like promiscuous. Like she looked like she would do anything to get like the tea, like soap on something, you know?
Yeah.
I don't know what the kids are calling it these days. El chisme? Yeah, the scoop. What did I say? Soap? Who the fuck is soap? I think I meant to say scoop.
Probably.
But no, she looked very like, let me get like the thing first. And she met with someone, which later on we found out that was her like assistant or like co-writer.
Yeah.
And I honestly thought she was gonna like give him a blowjob on the bench. But then she meets with we're doing spoilers, right?
Yeah.
And then she meets with the FBI agent, and then she got hot, and I was like, okay, so then what? That shows me that she will go above and beyond just to get the story.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what she did. But then when later on we find her in the backseat of the attorney's car, I was like, this bitch is gonna have sex with the attorney. But then that didn't happen.
Yeah.
So in my head, it was very like, I'll do anything for the story, pretty much. Yeah.
Okay, I could see that.
But I mean, she only did it once, so it doesn't really.
Yeah. So like I guess I took it a completely different way, or at least I didn't take it that way. So I thought, given that the movie is based in the 90s, and she's white, and she's in the South.
Okay.
I figured, you know, if you want to be, it's historically has been always more difficult for women to be successful journalists or to be at the top of a field, or like even like analysts on TV. Like most of the analysts, like for the NBA, there's like 4 women, I think, that I could think of.
There's the one with there's one with the big nose that I can't stand. You know which one I'm talking about?
I'm not sure. Which is she on ABC?
Yeah.
I think I know what you're talking about. So
not because she's a girl, but
shit like that.
Okay, yeah.
And so in the 90s, that's even more prevalent.
Yeah.
But so I took it as she was like, you know, kind of like when you're being attacked by a bear, how they tell you to be loud and big, you know? So she had to have like this like tough guy attitude to like get respect from like her editor, who was like an old white dude, you know?
Yeah.
And so that's what I took it as, like her behavior in the office environment. So the first time that we saw her.
Okay.
And then I thought was that her and the FBI agent person had been were in a relationship or had been in a relationship at some point in the past.
Yeah.
Because the first scene that they're together when when they're doing everyone's doing the Macarena.
Oh, they were like rubbing up on each other.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and like the way that they were talking to each other, it sounded like they had known each other for a long time. You know?
Yeah, like they were broken up or something.
Yeah,
Yeah.
So that's why I took it that way. And then, so the scene later in the bar, I was like, well, that makes sense. Like, you know, they were probably dating for a long time. Like, she still has feelings for, like, they have feelings for each other or something, you know?
I can see that. And then he would, like, give her the scoop because they were past.
Right. So that's what
history,
I took it as.
Okay.
And then, like, stuff that he would say was just, like, kind of, like, taking, like, shots at her. Like, maybe they broke up because she cheated on him with something or something. And that's why he's like, oh, you know, like, I forgot what the line was exactly, but like something along the lines of like, oh, if you couldn't bang the information out of my coworkers, what makes you think I'm gonna give it to you?
Damn.
So I was like, oh, maybe they broke up because like she slept with someone else, you know, or like
For a better story.
Ooh,
Damn.
fuck. All right, hold on, this bitch. No,
Yeah, but who has a kid though? Like who got custody of little Johnny?
you mean little Richard? Mind blown.
Well, that's why he's so fucked up in the head. 'Cause, like,
Because he's the son of an FBI agent, and his
Damn.
mom's a reporter who's out to get him.
then they were never home, so he learned how to make bombs.
Yeah, so that's what I took it as.
Yeah.
And so when I started seeing that, I was like, oh, that's weird. But then the more I thought about it and like the example that you gave, it makes sense. But I thought it was ironic because there's all this thing on the media like playing this up. And that's exactly what happened to Richard Jewell in the movie and in real life, that, you know, the story broke and then the media was like all over it, like harassing him and doing all this shit. And I feel like it's kind of, it's funny that the same thing is happening around the portrayal of this character.
Right. Yeah. It's a little ironic. Yeah.
Yeah.
I did have a sense of like her being like the big like tough guy when she was being cocky after the story broke.
Yeah.
And she was like, yeah, that's right, everybody, like clap it up for me.
Yeah.
You know? But then I also was like, no, because she had sex for that story. Like no one knows she did, but she's like faking it. But yeah, to go full circle, at the end when they're giving the press conference, you can see her in the background crying.
Yeah.
And like she broke down.
They made a real big point to show that she was having like an emotional breakdown, hearing like how much this affected this Richard's mom. And on all
and
that.
that's dope because that like she was once the villain who is now having a like, you know,
like a change of heart. Because even she had that scene where she goes. Apparently, everyone in the fucking movie did this, but she goes to the payphone where the 911 call was placed and walks to where the bomb happened, and she's timing it as well.
Yeah,
and she's like, "Oh shit! Like he didn't do it." Like she accepted it. It's like, "Oh, he didn't do it."
Which I had a weird reaction to that while we were watching it because I was even like, hold on. That's all it took for this bitch to change her mind?
Yeah.
Like, she was talking all this shit, right? And she was like, yo, this guy is, like, the perfect fit. Like, you know, he's mental. Like, he lives with his mom. Like, I'm going to write all this stuff about him. And you can see, like, throughout the movie, like, there was, like, headlines.
Yeah.
And they're all coming from her, you know? And then, like, all of a sudden, you do this little test run where, like, you don't, you know, and I mean, the facts were there because the attorney did it too.
Yeah.
But that's all it took for you to change your mind. Like, I think pretty sure, like, there should have been more to it.
Yeah.
That was a very, like,
it felt kind of quick.
Yeah, we have to, like, change the pace of the movie, so let's just do this.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah.
Like, I think, they could have done a better job at that in that instance. Like, have some more moments where she starts questioning it. Because it really went, she heard the mom's speech, and then she did that test, and then she was like, "Oh shit, he didn't do it."
Yeah.
So there could have been some more stuff in between.
I did like how throughout the movie, the FBI agent kept trying to manipulate and try to like trick this fucking Richard guy.
Yeah.
Because they thought he was dumb. Like,
Right.
Like profiling, he looks like an idiot. Like,
Right.
You know, and I mean, no offense. Well, he passed away like 2007.
Yeah.
But this guy looks like you could take advantage of him. And that's exactly what the FBI was trying to do throughout the whole movie.
Right.
But I feel like if there was a point where the journalist came up to him and seduced him, bro, she could have had him like in the palm of her hand. Like, oh, just, you know, speak into this microphone and tell her when you did it. Like, this motherfucker would have cracked. Like, you know what I'm saying? But I'm glad it didn't happen because this guy would have been in jail. But yeah, there was little things she did to get her stories out on the press and like on the newspaper that I think just gave everyone a bad taste.
Yeah.
You know?
I guess the way she went about it.
Yeah.
I don't. I didn't get the sense because the whole backlash point is that they were portraying the character as someone who was trading sex for stories, and I didn't really get that from watching it.
Okay.
But yeah, and the person is actually dead as well. So like the actual person,
really?
yeah, the actual person can't come and like give her opinion on it. So this is like people that knew her and like her coworkers from the time and all that are like kind of upset about this.
You're right, but didn't they say at the end of the movie that she died? Or maybe I read this afterwards. They want to believe that the cause of death was like related to the bombing and the whole story because she died not having any like closure on what she did to Richard Jewell, and that it like ate her up throughout her whole life.
Huh? Maybe.
Yeah, I read that somewhere. That's weird. But okay, so say you accuse someone of doing something like on that level of like FBI agent. How would you feel knowing once you have that change of heart or like that fucking there's a word I'm looking for. Revelation? No, it's called
Epiphany?
Epiphany, yeah.
Yeah.
How dumb would you feel? Would you would you quit your job or would you apologize to him publicly?
I think like a public apology is probably the best thing you could do because I mean the whole reason that this became a big ass issue is because she went public with that story.
Yeah,
to
the
begin
media
with.
Played a big role in this.
Yeah. And so and I think even the lawyer kind of speaks to that at that last scene where they're sitting at the diner and the FBI agent comes in and gives them the letter that says you're officially no longer a person of interest. Because he's like, oh, this is a good start. Like, are you gonna put this on all the fucking news outlets and like make this public?
Yeah.
So like, I feel like the only way that you could like apologize is by doing the same thing, like an opposite, like admitting that you were wrong and you were looking for a story.
Yeah.
But yeah, that I could see that like really fucking with a person because especially her as a journalist, like you don't want to admit that you were wrong or that you didn't have all the facts because that kills your credibility. Like no one's gonna want to publish your stories after that.
That's true. Yeah.
But
she had to believe that he actually did it though. Like I think as a journalist, like you go into the field. I mean, we've had a journalist on the show, but like that would have been a good question to ask.
Dang, why couldn't this movie come
I know.
out?
But like you obviously go in there with like a good intention, right? So you wanna broadcast these stories of like catching the villain or catching the bad guy. But I think what like she lost like that like man, dude, I suck at talking today. Anyway, she lost that, so now she's just going for like the juicy gossip,
Right. She's just trying.
She wasn't trying to like
at the top spot.
Yeah, she wasn't trying to like. She wasn't in favor of Richard Jewell, pretty much. Like she wasn't trying to find out whether he did it or not.
She was in favor of whatever would sell the most.
Yeah,
and get her on the front page.
I think that's what messed her up throughout, like post everything that happened. For the next following years, because dude, that's like guilty conscience,
Yeah, because you have to live with that.
That's fucking crazy. Again, that's how realistic this movie was. Like, it makes you think. And that's what I like about these movies, bro. Like, it makes you think after the fact and like, damn, like put yourself in those shoes,
Yeah.
Compared to like a freaking, I don't know, Harry Potter. Like, I'm not gonna fly around on a broom. Like,
not with that attitude.
No, no, but you know what I'm saying. Like, it's more realistic of me like pinpointing whether or not you could blow up a bomb and like reenacting it. Like I think that's really cool.
But yeah, I think that about covers everything that I had.
Yeah, same here. Well, actually, I wrote down a lot of shit, but we pretty much covered it. I'm just gonna pull something from these notes real quick.
I know while you pull that up, I know during the movie, like when he was walking his dog and when they were about to go back inside after the FBI had like searched the house where he was like having like chest problems and he was like grabbing his heart.
Oh yeah.
And I was like, fuck, this dude's gonna have a heart attack.
I thought so too.
And me not knowing historically what happened, I was like, is this how he dies? Does he die here?
I was worried about the dog. I was like, yo, you can't land on this dog if you have a heart attack.
And so I think that helped play it up for me too, because if I had known more about the event, I was like, oh well, he doesn't die here. He dies in 2007. Right. Yeah. But me watching this with no context, I was like, oh shit, does he die? Like, does this like all the scrutiny from the media end up causing him to have heart problems and ends up killing him.
Yeah, you're on the edge of your seat, bro. Like,
Yeah, I was like freaking out. I was like, what is that? And like you said, like you start putting yourself in the character's shoes. I was like, what is this going to do to Olivia Wilde's character, knowing that she made these false accusations on somebody and it caused them to die?
And it killed him.
Yeah.
So she blew him up.
Right, literally.
Yeah.
And like, what is the FBI going to do with this information? Are they going to like try to play this up now that he literally can't defend himself? You're just going to pin it on him.
Yeah. That's fucking crazy, man.
So shit like that. But
real quick, before we get off topic, I listened to this podcast yesterday called Other People's Lives, where they put themselves in someone else's shoes, you know, and they interview people, and it's all like confidential. They had this girl on the show that was a survivor of the Las Vegas Route 91 country festival shooting.
Yeah.
That happened a couple of years ago. So they had her on the show, and she's talking about this. And it's weird that I was listening to it while I was writing the notes for today's show, but I'm putting two and two together. So she was talking about her experience, right? When everything happened, how she got away, like even post how like they were hiding at the Hooters hotel, and like she was scared to even walk out of the room she was hiding in, and she was scared of like people in the elevator. During this 1996 bombing, people died. So that's the connection there. But like, how would you feel if you survived a traumatic like incident like this?
Yeah.
Like, so in the movie they show this lady who was taking pictures with her daughter.
Yeah.
I actually found out that lady was one of the two people that died.
Yep. Yeah.
And
I found that.
Yeah. So then I'm thinking like, if you survive, but like your friend doesn't,
right?
How would you feel realistically? Where you're like, holy shit, we both had an equal opportunity to die, but I made it out alive.
The whole
that's fucking crazy, dude.
What's it called? Survivor's guilt.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is.
Yeah, I feel like that has to fuck with you, because then you start questioning everything. You're like, well, you know what? Well, now I have to do, you know, it's that kind of mentality. Is like, now I have to do something.
Now you're destined for something.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, I can't not do shit now, because then that means that this other person died for literally no reason. Like, that's I could have died, and maybe they could have done something, you know?
Yeah.
And then all that just keeps compounding in your head. Like, that would...
I think that would
fuck with you.
Yeah, fuck with you mentally, and it'll progress over the years. You know what I'm saying?
Especially if you don't, like, deal with it.
Yeah. And then she was talking about even like post-traumatic PTSD. She was having dinner with her parents maybe like a year later, and some kids were like throwing fireworks outside.
Yeah.
And she heard the fireworks, and she got up, flipped the table over, and started running.
Yeah.
And then her dad like hugged her and was like, "Are you okay? Well, like, you know, what's going on? Like, what can I do to help?"
Yeah.
And she was saying how there's literally nothing anyone can do. Like, it's all mental, and like, you're just fucked for however long, you know? Like, it's crazy, bro. And to think that like all that just because you were at a concert, or like you were at the 1996 Olympics.
Right, you just happened to be there.
That is a trip.
Yeah, it's that is a trip.
That is a trip, and I am not tripping. No.
No, sir, I do not think I am tripping.
Nope. I stay inside all day. No, so imagine. Yo, and then like you're afraid to live life too. Like,
yeah. You're scared to fucking go to a big public event.
Ooh, but is there a contradiction there? Because you're afraid to live life, but you feel guilty if you don't live life because you could have not been living.
Yeah, so imagine how bad that has to fuck with you.
That's a trip. No, again? Yeah, that's crazy in itself. Oh, man. I like not trying to like be weird about it, but like I would love to talk to someone that survived something like that.
Yeah.
Just to hear like, you know, especially like that episode was dope because like she's calling in and everything's confidential. She didn't give anything like information out. So she was comfortable with giving super detailed, you know, like she was painting the picture. Even at one point she was talking about how she ran into the Hooters hotel and she was in the casino. And in my head, while she was talking, I envisioned it because I was there a couple months ago. Yeah. So I envisioned like all the people running in, and like I envisioned the space. And then she even says like she ran towards the back and towards like the pool area, and
you knew exactly.
Like, I knew exactly where that was. And I mean, okay, it's kind of funny, but Hooters hotel, we ate Hooters, right?
Right.
And I had to go, like I had to go to the bathroom so bad. So then there was like a hidden bathroom in that back area. So I went to the bathroom there, but like while she was talking, I was like, "Yo, that's like perfect hiding space."
That's
You know,
right where
'cause-
you went.
yeah, because you're in the back and like you're away from like the entrance.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would love to talk to someone that survived that, but I don't know if they would be comfortable talking about it on the show. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Yeah.
Publicly talking about it. Yeah, you'd have to find a willing participant, I guess. But
Yeah.
it'd be interesting to kind of dig into someone's mind and how they survive with that.
Yeah. You know, there was before we go, there was a country bar that was shot up, and people that were at the music festival that survived were also at this country bar. There was a big story on it. Like this group that went for a birthday party, then they survived 2 incidents,
Yeah.
and it's crazy.
Moral of the story: stop going to country shows.
Don't listen to country music. But yeah, I'm looking at you, Jose. No.
Ah,
That's the first person I thought
That's
of.
fucked
No.
up.
Yeah. But I guess we can take a break here.
yeah. Seems like a good break.
Yeah.
I guess before we go, you want to give your final score on the movie?
Ooh, I would give it 4 bombs out of 5.
That's insensitive.
Yeah, I think it was good. It was very realistic. I liked the facts, which I didn't know about till after.
Yeah.
So it was very well told. I like the character. I like the lead character. I like how regular Joe he was. So yeah, 4 bombs out of 5.
All right, I'll give it. I'll also give it 4 jewels out of 5.
Ooh,
4 jewel hits.
Just oh wow, just a cloud of smoke. No.
Cloud of smoke everywhere.
Fucked up.
Damn, I walked into that one.
Yeah.
No, but for the same reasons, I think it's a really well put together movie. I actually should have looked up the runtime, but it was about 2 hours long, and it didn't. At no point in the movie was like, "Fuck, this is taking a long time."
Yeah, I agree.
So it has a really good pace, except for like the one flaw in the story that we kind of talked about. How Olivia Wilde's character just kind of has a change of heart, seemingly out of nowhere.
Yeah.
But everything else, I feel like is paced pretty well. They do a good job establishing the characters, and like by the end of the movie, you feel for Richard. You're like, fuck, man.
It's my boy.
He just wants to be a police officer and make his mom proud.
Just want to drink a beer with him.
Yeah, have a Budweiser with him. But yeah, I'd say go watch it, especially like with the holidays coming up. Like people have more time off. So
oh yeah, for sure.
they'll have time to go check out some movies. I think this is one that's worth checking out.
Yeah, if you like First 48 and you like those crime investigating shows, this is a great movie for you. With that being said, we'll be right back, guys. Stick around. We have a little bit of Renee's Gonna Dance for us.
Oh, fuck.
So you don't want to miss this. We'll be right back. Welcome back, guys, to TretoWithOutARadio. How's it going? You know, we've been here for about 0.5 seconds, just waiting for you guys to come back.
We've been waiting.
Nah.
Yeah, so wanted to well, I guess you want to outline. So I got this shower thought that I want to go through.
Bam.
And, after that, I know you want to introduce a new segment called Off the Record.
Yes.
Called Off the Record. Get it? Because it's a record. Watch it completely not be in frame.
Right? I'm pointing at nothing. Yeah.
Yeah, so we got a couple little segments here to wrap up the episode.
Yes. I know last week we had a whole episode on shower thoughts, but now we're breaking it down for one segment per episode, which is pretty cool. So this week, what's your shower thought?
So my shower thought, again, didn't happen in the shower.
God damn.
One day I'll have one in the shower, and like I'm going to be ecstatic.
Nice.
Until then.
Okay, so where did it happen?
This one, I was sitting in a chair while I was at work.
Oh, nice.
And I guess it's not even... No, I guess it is a thought. But so I was at work doing some stuff.
Doing God knows what.
and I got a message on Facebook, right? On one of my group chats. Or I guess one of my sub-group chats.
Yeah, I was going to say, how many group chats do you have?
Well, because I have the one main group chat, and then from that group chat, we have sub-group chats.
Yo, so you're... hold up. Nah, go. I'm going to let you finish. No.
And thanks, Kanye. So in one of the subgroup chats, somebody sent a picture or a screenshot, and then it's like, "Hey, isn't hold on, let me see what he said." because I don't know what it was, but I thought this was something that didn't bother me at all, and then it bothered me.
Damn.
And I was really confused. I was like, why did this bother me?
Yep. I feel the same way about putting my quarter in at Aldi.
Oh my god.
Yo, that shit bothers me when it doesn't work. It's like, why aren't you working? Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, so it was a screenshot, and it said, "Yo, comma, I think you guys know this bitch, right?" And so I saw that first before I unlocked my phone,
Okay.
and so I clicked on it. I was like, "What the hell is he talking about?" And then I saw the picture, the screenshot, and like some more information, like to fill out the situation. And I was looking at it, and I was like, I was like upset. I was like not like borderline angry, you know?
But you were upset at the person or at the fact at the message?
At the person's message,
Okay.
at the comment. It was like, "Hey, you guys know this bitch, right?"
Okay.
And it was weird because it had never bothered me before, and like I know he didn't mean it like in a negative way, calling this girl a bitch.
Yeah.
But like I read it and it bothered me, and I'd never had that reaction to somebody calling a girl a bitch before.
Is this you growing up into like a more mature like?
No, because I call people bitches all the time.
You do, yeah. Never mind.
Like, and that's why I was thinking about it. I was like, why do I feel offended? Because I say it all the time, and like I don't say it with like a negative connotation.
Yeah.
And like even the last time we were in Milwaukee, when we were just walking out of the
Oh my God.
the parking lot, and I like kicked the door open, and I was like, "What up, bitch?" And there was just like a girl, this poor girl walking by, minding her own business.
Yo, I forgot about that. Literally perfect timing. Here's Renee. Here's the girl. He's like, "What up, bitches?" Fuck.
So,
Yeah.
like, you know, so like it's not like I have a problem with it just generally, but this time for whatever reason it bothered me, and I was like,
Okay.
that's so weird." Like, and I was just trying to figure it out in my head, like, why? And it's not like I'm like romantically involved with this person or anything.
Yeah, that was my follow up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was just like a friend of mine.
Okay.
Apparently a good friend of mine, because I got offended when somebody without negative connotation called her a bitch.
So this is you like responding. First of all, how dare you?
No, legit.
What?
I was like, I was like, yes, I know this person. This is blah 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 blah.
Yeah.
And I was like, also, you calling her a bitch bothered me a bit. It's weird. I'm not sure why, but it bothered me.
Yeah.
And so he like apologized, and I was like, I know you didn't. Basically, what I just said.
Right.
But it bothered me for like 30 minutes. I was like, this is the first time that's ever happened. Like, have you ever had that happen?
Yes, but it was meant to be a bad like.
Like, it was meant as a
Yeah.
bad thing.
So then I was like, yo, first of all, like, calm down, you know, like, and then they grew after that, but it wasn't through text. It was in person, so that was a little different. So I reacted right away because it's like, nah, dude, like, don't call her. Fucking, you know, it wasn't a bitch though. The exact word was this fucking hoe.
Oh,
And I was like, Jesus, bro, like, you don't even, you know, like, first of all, yeah. But this was years ago. This had probably was when I was still in college, and then it was in person, so it was a little bit different.
Yeah.
But
and you're saying that the person actually meant it with like a negative connotation as well.
Yeah. And I was like, all right, dude, relax. Like, you first of all, you don't get like girls like that. So no, but anyway, but yeah, no. It's weird because you don't like. Do you ever hang out with this person?
Well, yeah, like we've hung out, we've hung out.
Yo, what if you secretly like her and you don't know it?
Ooh, and I thought about that too. I was like, what if that's what it is? Like, that's why it bothered me, and I didn't even realize it.
How often do you see this girl?
Not very often. Like, maybe like a handful of times throughout the year.
Oh yeah, that's not often at all.
Yeah, so it's not very often. Like, maybe like 6-7 times in the year.
Were you mad or were you just annoyed? Because those are two different things.
I wasn't mad. I was annoyed, and I was like upset.
Oh, okay. So then, yeah, I don't know.
So
I mean, I have no.
I was sitting there just confused. I was like, I don't know what I'm feeling.
What is this? I know her.
What is this feeling?
I think, you know what it is, man? It could be like, you know, genuinely that someone's a super nice person, whether it's a guy or a girl, that when someone says something bad or tries to slander them, you're just like, nah, dude, I'm not having that.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
that's where I settled on it. Like that has to be. Like,
Yeah.
that's what makes sense.
Because that happened to me in a situation where someone was talking shit about someone behind their back, and we
Yeah.
were like, and this person had just left. So then I snapped, and I was like, yo, why couldn't you say that when this person was still here 10 minutes ago, you know? And I snapped in defense, not because I liked the person or I had feelings for the person, but just because it was a very shitty thing to do.
Yeah.
So I think, but with you, that's different, though, because you knew that he wasn't doing it
Yeah,
intentionally.
and it was like over
Yo, that's
text.
weird.
So like I assumed, like at no point in my head it was like, oh, he's like trying to like insult her or something.
Yeah.
I was just like, oh, like, oh, this fucking bitch.
Yo,
know?
you got to ask this girl out. That's the only logic.
It's the only logical move.
Yeah, like you got to be like, look, I don't know what's going on, but something tells me that you and I are meant to be.
It's like I don't know how to explain this, but somebody called you a bitch and I was offended. So
Marry me.
What's up?
Nah. Yo, honestly, fast forward. So listen, kids, this is how I met your mom.
Somebody called her a bitch on Facebook Messenger.
Yeah.
And I lost it.
Have you seen that Vine? It's like, oh, like tell us again how you met mom. It's like, yo, she had a fat ass, and I was like, damn.
And that's
But
how I
yo,
met your mother.
Yeah, that's perfect, bro. Okay, so yeah, that's a good shower thought, man. I think sometimes you just react to shit and you're just like, whoa, where the fuck did that
Yeah,
come
it's like
from?
where did this reaction come from?
Yeah, that's weird.
Who am I?
Wow, you're in love. That's who you are now.
So yeah, there's my shower thought for
Good shit, man.
for the week, I guess.
Good shit. Moving forward, we have a new segment called Off the Record, which is not something that we're saying in secret. It's not something that's like hidden.
So we stop recording right now.
Yeah, go off the record.
Yeah.
Where these fucking people watching us.
These
right
fucking
now?
bitches.
No, these bitches ain't shit. No, it's a segment where I wanna once a week I wanna give light to an artist, up and coming artist, whether it be someone we know or someone that's like popping on SoundCloud or whatever. This week's artist, which is the first time I do this because it was just so natural. I found off of a band. What's the name of that website? Bandcamp page, right?
Yeah.
So I'm listening to Bandcamp, and then they have a bunch of recommendations underneath. Like, oh, if you like how this sounds, listen to this. And there was a bunch of them, and there was a bright orange album cover with a face on it, and I was like, oh, that's cool. I clicked on it without any like hesitation. This guy named Michael Sneed, and right off the bat, I was like, okay, he doesn't even have like an artist name. Like this guy's his fucking
like his
government
fucking legal name.
Yes, so I was like, okay, this is gonna be whack. But I'm already here. I'll hit play on the first song, bro. Hold up, nah, I can't play it legally because of copyrights. But the album name is Days We Lost.
Yeah.
So if you want to listen to this dope artist named Michael Sneed, his first album ever is Days We Lost. Immediately I looked him up on YouTube. Listen to the first song. Sounds amazing.
Yeah.
Like, yo, this guy is from the Bay, so he's from the West Coast.
Yep.
Sounds exactly, well, not exactly like, but he sounds heavily influenced by Chance the Rapper.
Right.
Which I'm sure if you've seen the show before, you know that me and Chance are like,
They're like boys.
we're boys. That he doesn't know that, but like,
But you're boys.
we're
No.
boys. Yeah. Like me and Richard the fucking Jewell. No. Yeah. So he sounds like Chance the Rapper, and right off the bat I was like, damn, that's dope.
Yeah.
But then not only that, his flow is very like soulful. Like it has like instruments and a orchestra, like not orchestra, but like it sounds very like melodic, and it has very different like patterns. And it was just so dope, man. And he sampled this like Common song that I like a lot. And I thought that was really cool. But yeah, the way I found him was very like
very
spontaneous, very natural. So go check him out. His name's Michael Sneed. Days We Lost. If you like it, comment below or follow him on Instagram.
Do something.
His Instagram is Lil Snickerfoot.
Tell him
Super
Trader Without Radio sent you.
Yeah, literally tell him TretoWithOutARadio sent you. Lil Snickerfoot on Instagram, and it's dope because he only has like 2,000 followers.
Yeah, I was gonna mention that. It was kind of annoying trying to find him because like I googled him and nothing came out. I was like, all right, so Trader just made up a fucking rapper name. And so like I did the Google search again, but I added rapper to the end, and then I got some results for him.
Oh, okay.
And so I was like, damn, like he's really just starting out.
Yeah.
Because I couldn't even like if you Google Chance the Rapper, Chance the Rapper comes out.
Right.
You know, you Google fucking Trey Songz comes out. You know.
Yeah.
But like this guy, you Google his artist name and like the first page of results are like some old white lawyer.
Yeah. It's super random.
And so I thought that was really cool. And even I was on his Bandcamp listening to some of the songs, and like the earliest song that I could find, I checked his Bandcamp, I checked SoundCloud, I checked like I forgot what else I checked. I checked some other website, and like the earliest song was like this year back in May.
Yeah.
And I was like, fuck, so he's just getting out there,
Yeah.
you know?
And that's the beauty of it. I always love when someone recommends me music and it's dope, or like when you find it by yourself, because it's like for a second you have like a gem that no one knows about, you know?
Yeah.
Like, have you ever had that where you're just like, damn, this is dope and this is so new and like to my
this
ears?
is gonna be it.
Yeah, whether like it's good or not, like the fact that you like it, so you're just
Right.
like, damn, that's dope.
So even if it doesn't blow up, like
Right.
you know, you're in this moment right now. It's like fuck, like this could blow up, and you know,
Yeah.
you could feel special about yourself because you found it
Right.
before everyone else did.
Exactly. So yeah, that's the artist for this week. Off the Record, Michael Sneed album, Days We Lost, and yeah, go check him out. He's really dope. Hopefully one day he'll be on the show.
Yeah, that'd be
Yeah.
cool. We could talk about it. I'm really curious to see if he is actually influenced by Chance.
That would be my first question.
I was trying to figure out the timeline of it, and it didn't make a whole lot of sense to me.
Yeah.
So like, because I heard like the first couple songs on his SoundCloud off of the album that you mentioned, and then I was like, yeah, it sounds like Chance the Rapper, but with like more. And this is gonna sound weird because Chance has a lot of soul in his music, but like more like soul based and more jazz influence.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, it sounds like Chance. And so I started thinking about it and like looking at the timelines because the dude's 23 right now.
Uh-huh.
And so I was thinking about it. I was like, all right, so if he's 23, he lives in the Bay. And so I started working backwards. I was like, realistically, most people probably heard of Chance the Rapper, like actually knew, oh, this is Chance the Rapper.
Outside of Chicago?
Yeah, like maybe when Acid Rap came out.
Yeah.
Like that would be like the earliest that you would know about it. And so I looked at it and I was like, okay, when Acid Rap came out, this guy would have been 17 years old.
Yeah.
And he would have been in high school in the Bay. So I was like, Chance the Rapper was probably the last thing that he was listening to, you know?
Right. Yeah. He's
And
probably
so-
listening to like G-Eazy or like
Right.
E40.
'Cause,
Yeah.
you know, G-Eazy, especially that time, like he was still up and coming and he's like heavily based in the Bay Area.
Right.
And like the Bay Area music is completely different from, you know, what Chance the Rapper sounds like.
Yeah.
And so I was like looking at it, I was like, I could see it. Like maybe he like through some weird sequence of events he found out about Chance the Rapper earlier.
Yeah.
And like he based his style on that.
Which is, I mean, that's dope.
But the more I thought about it, I was like, that doesn't make sense. Like what 17-year-old is like, I'm gonna be a rapper and I'm gonna rap exactly like this guy from Chicago, you know?
Yeah, someone that's not even like,
Yeah.
instead of rapping like Kanye or like Lupe, like
Right.
he's like, no, I want to sound like Chance.
Exactly. So I'm like,
But
I feel like he somehow I feel like he created that style on his own,
Yeah.
and it just ended up being similar to Chance's.
damn, that's dope.
And I feel like that'd be even cooler than you ask him the questions like, oh yeah, you know, I heard Chance the Rapper when I was in high school, and I wanted to be like him, you know?
Yeah, I hope it's not so plain.
I feel like it'd be cooler if it was like, no, like, you know, I was really big into church, and like my uncle was like a jazz musician or whatever.
Damn.
And like it'd be cool if he ended up like at a similar place through a completely different route.
Yeah.
Because like that was Chance's whole thing, right? Like his family was like big into religion, and like he
Right.
was like through the church, and he did all these things like with his friends after school, and they would just rap and stuff.
Yeah, you know the vibes.
So,
you know,
like-
you got it.
So it'd be cool if he did it like a completely different way. It's like he's like, oh, you know, I was in this rock band in high
Right.
school, or like I was in this jazz band or something, you know.
Right.
So I'd be interested to see more of that.
Yeah, the reason I got so excited to discover this guy is not only because he sounds like Chance, that's just a plus, but like, just seeing, like, I love seeing the growth. Like, you know,
Yeah.
like I like seeing an artist when they're, I mean, this guy's at the very bottom right now.
Yeah.
Like I'm sure he does shows and stuff, but like he's like not even close to some of these artists. But I like seeing them progress and like seeing where they go. And like I've seen artists that like I followed back in like 2010 who
Yeah.
aren't even making music anymore.
Right.
So like you see them either like be the best they can be or like just turn into complete weirdos. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But I mean, not that this guy's gonna be weird, but like I'm
You heard it here first,
I know.
folks.
Yo, this guy's gonna no, but like no, I'm glad we found him early,
Yeah.
so we could see where it goes.
No,
Yeah,
that
that's
sounds
dope.
cool.
Yeah.
Can't wait to see what comes of that, and can't wait to get more information about him. Really.
Yeah. So yo, Michael Sneed, come on the show.
Yeah. Come TretoWithOutARadio.
I hope we're saying that right too. What if it's like Sneed? No, like
Sneed.
not even Sneed. Like we're
He's
just
actually British.
I don't know. But yo, that's off the record, and this has been Trader Without a Radio. This week we sold our radio for
Michael Sneed tickets.
bam. You heard it here first, guys. Yo, thanks for listening. And next week we have a special holiday episode.
Yeah. Special Christmas.
Yeah.
Christmas revolved episode.
So I hope you guys got your gifts ready because our PO box is empty as fuck.
We're not just giving these episodes away. No.
Yo, thank you guys. Tune in next week. You already know how it goes. Trader Without a Radio. Renee from the other day. We'll see you.